Hello, good evening. Good evening, good evening. All right, we back again. So today we're going to talk about self-concept. All right, as always, the document is going to be on YouTube and it's going to be on Instagram. If you have any comments, any questions, leave them in the chat. I'll get to them as I'm going through this lecture, and then we'll have a brief Q&A at the end, right, in case you're shy. All right, but make sure I'm live on everything. We can get started. All right, let's talk self-concept, man. Self-concept is the key to your life. Your life follows the directions of your thoughts, of your beliefs, of your perceptions, right? And so when we talk about self-concept, your self-concept is the core of who you are. It's how you see yourself. So how you see yourself, the world follows, right? So building and repairing your self-concept, the blueprint for personal power. So what is self-concept? Your self-concept is the mental blueprint of who you believe that you are. It governs your thoughts, actions, and the way you interpret the world. It influences how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and most importantly, how you view your own worth. If your self-concept is weak or damaged, it becomes easy to fall into cycles of self-doubt, insecurity, and stagnation. However, if it is strong and well-defined, it serves as the foundation for confidence, resilience, and success. This lecture will cover how to build a strong self-concept from the ground up and how to repair it when life has knocked you down. And I share all these documents on YouTube, man. You can always keep them. You can always download them, leave comments, do all that. All right, so why is self-concept important? Your thoughts are what shape reality. More importantly than your thoughts, your beliefs. Okay, your core beliefs are going to determine how reality forms around you. And so many times, because we're in this human experience, we go through situations that break our heart. We go through difficult situations with family, with friends, with lovers, right? And it's as if we devalue ourselves when we go through difficult situations. For instance, one of the posts I made earlier was about discernment. Okay? Am I a good person because I give selflessly to a bunch of people who do not appreciate me? Right? Or am I a good person when I can actually exercise discernment? What we'll see is that most of us have been in a situation where we've tried to use our love to buy someone else's love. They showed us they didn't really want to be there. They showed us they didn't really value us, right? But instead of us taking that hint and leaving the situation where it was, we started to pour more and more into that situation in this vain attempt to, okay, if I show them that I love them more, maybe they'll love me back. Maybe they'll validate me. Maybe they'll stay. Maybe they'll change, but they don't. And what you end up doing is when you act like this over a long period of time, you degrade your own sense of self-worth. You start looking at yourself as less valuable than you are. You start to attach your sense of self-worth on that person. How come they're not validating me? How come they don't see how good I am? How come they don't see how much I love them? How come they don't see how much I'm pouring into them, right? But your validation was never something that was meant to be outsourced. It was never meant to be given to anyone else. Okay? So what tends to happen is that we go through this situation, but it spiritually awakens us. So it's this double-edged sword. The heart breaks. The soul wakes up. The spirit within you says, it's time to grow. It's time to evolve. And so you go down this path of trying to become the conscious creator of your reality. You might find some kind of spirituality, some kind of spiritual path. And while you're on this spiritual path, you start to learn about manifestation. My thoughts control my reality. It's a beautiful thing to know. I am in control, right? Here is the difficult thing, though, is if you've been through a situation where your sense of self-worth has been degraded, now you're going to have to do more work to build your self-concept back up. You've been through a situation where someone did not see you. They didn't see you as valuable. And you might have tied your sense of value to their reception to you. So now you've got to do some extra work to build that self-concept back up. So we're going to talk about how to actually build that self-concept back up from these difficult times. All right. So let's go through this first paragraph again. Your self-concept is the mental blueprint of who you believe that you are. It governs your thoughts, actions, and the way you interpret the world. It influences how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and most importantly, how you view your own worth. If your self-concept is weak or damaged, it becomes easy to fall into cycles of self-doubt, insecurity, and stagnation. However, if it is strong and well-defined, it serves as the foundation for confidence, resilience, and success. What's up, y'all? All right, so this lecture will cover how to build a strong self-concept from the ground up and how to repair it when life has knocked you down. Nah, we ain't go to high school together, girl. All right, so part one, the foundations of a strong self-concept. Self-awareness, knowing who you are. So before you can build anything, you must understand what already exists. Take an honest inventory of your strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, and past experiences. Journaling, meditation, and deep reflection can help you uncover the core of your identity. So the first step to healing in anything is acceptance of where I am. Who am I today? Okay, and what events have shaped me? Here's a key part of self-love. If I truly love myself, I have to accept everything that came with building me into the person that I am today. All right? If I truly love myself, everything that was part of my past has built me into this person in some way. I am a collection of the past experience that I've lived through, the past situations I've been through, the past heartbreak that I've survived, the past trauma that I've overcome. I am a byproduct of all of that. And so once I get to a point of absolute self-acceptance, right? Now I have to, it changes my perception on the past. This is why you go through the heartbreak, you struggle through the heartbreak, you meet the right person. And when you meet the right person, you say, man, I'm glad I went through the heartbreak. Nothing changed with the heartbreak. Your perspective changes because time passes and now you have fully accepted where you are and what all those past situations have led you to, okay? The key is that you can actually collapse your time by changing your perspective quicker. Your perspective is your key to collapsing your reality, to getting the things that you want. So if I walk out of a situation and my perspective is, damn, why did they do that to me? Time slows down. When I get out of a situation, I have a perspective of what is this trying to teach me? And I learn the lesson, integrate the lesson, walk as the person who's learned the lesson. My time towards my desire slows down, right? So time begins to collapse, okay? So the foundations of a strong self-concept. So number one is going to be self-awareness. I need to walk through life with an absurdly high amount of self-awareness, acceptance for who I am. So like I always say, changing your reality requires some form of self-mastery. It requires a level of self-discipline, self-accountability that most people don't have. This is why most people struggle when it comes to changing their reality, because it requires you to take off the victim hat and put on the creator hat. It requires you to look in the mirror and see God looking back at you and see the God flowing through you. See the creator of everything that created you, that is flowing through you, that is within you. You have to see that when you look in the mirror. And if you truly knew who you were, you would not walk around as a victim, because you would understand that the Most High can't be a victim. So you can't be a victim because you are a reflection of the Most High. The Most High dwells in you. The Most High is you, okay? So first step is self-awareness, knowing who you are. Who are you? Do you truly believe that you are a manifestation of the Most High? Or do you believe that you are some random being just wandering here in this chaotic, unpredictable universe with the Most High not watching over you? Do you believe that the Most High is random and chaotic and makes mistakes? Okay? Or do you know who you are? So before you can build anything, you must understand what already exists. Take an honest inventory of your strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, and past experiences. We're going to highlight these two, beliefs and past experiences. What are your beliefs right now surrounding the things around you? The introspective question that I pose to you, that you can pose to yourself in every situation, is what do I have to believe to feel this way right now? What must be true in my belief system to make me feel this way? I have some kind of feeling of sadness in my body. What must I believe to be true? My money is this way. What must I believe to be true for me to be in this situation right now? And now you shine the light on that consciousness. You become the observer of your reality. And from the observer position, you can actually change your reality. It's very difficult to change your reality as just this innocent bystander that's just, if it's raining outside, you get wet. And if it's happy times, you're happy. And the weather can blow you here and there and circumstances can push you around, right? You have to step into the observer role in your life. And you have to do this over and over again. It has to be your core way of living. Is that you're constantly looking out and you're saying, all right, what about this situation? For me to be feeling like this right now in this moment, what do I have to believe about this situation to be true? Okay. Is that belief in alignment with how I want my life to play out? Right? You have to start stripping power from the external world. You've walked through life and you had a situation with some man, some woman, and you were trying to pour love into them. They were pulling away. Right. And instead of you taking that for what it is, we're not in alignment. You started to pour more into them, hoping that they will love you, right? Hoping that they'll see you, that they'll validate you, that they'll do all those things that you want and that you like, that they used to do in the beginning, but they never did. Okay. And so eventually your sense of self-worth got tied to them. You're going to have to strip your power back. You're going to have to look at the situation for what it was. You just weren't in alignment. They were there to teach you a lesson. That's it. How they reacted to you has nothing to do with your value, right? If you have a $500,000 painting, a $5 million painting, and you take it to the wrong people to try to sell, and they say, hell no, I wouldn't pay $5 for that bullshit. Does that degrade the value of the painting? Is the painting worth any less? No, it's just not for them. This is you. You are that $5 million painting. You are a priceless painting of the Most High, a priceless piece of artwork of the divine. No man or woman can tell you your value unless you allow them to. And when you allow them to, you are giving your power to them. But no man, no woman walking this green earth can look at you and say, nah. They don't have to see your value. It doesn't mean the value isn't there anymore. Okay? So don't allow somebody to speak power into your life. Don't allow somebody to speak and take your power, right? But this is what we tend to do so many times, is that we walk through life. And here's another key that I want y'all to really remember. Nobody can manifest your life for you. Nobody can put a spell on you unless you believe it. Nobody can come into your life and put doubt on you, and all of a sudden that manifests as you not getting something unless you believe it. No one has power in your reality but you. Let's go a step further. Everyone who shows up in your life is a reflection of some piece of your consciousness being outpictured. You think this person is judging you. Y'all ain't even had a conversation yet. You think this person is judging you. But this is a part of you, an unhealed, a deep-rooted part of you that is judging yourself, that says, man, if I start this new business, if I go down this new path, if I go into the gym, people are going to judge me. This is you judging yourself. And so it looks like this other person is judging you, but this is just an opportunity for you to face your fear, to face yourself. Everyone's giving you an opportunity to face yourself. Are you who you say you are? Right? So it's not necessarily that you're always going to get to a point where you're just, fearless. But you do it even when you're scared, even when you're nervous, even when you don't feel so good. You do it anyway. And you come up against yourself over and over and over again, and you start getting better at it. All right? So, number 2 is take an honest inventory of your strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, and past experiences. And then we're going to implement some tools, right? And like I say, the tool is relative to the soul. The tool is relative to you. Certain things are going to feel better. Certain people want to journal. Certain people want affirmations. Certain people want to sit and meditate. Certain people want deep reflection, right? But you have to find the tool that speaks to you, okay? So journaling, meditation, and deep reflection can help you uncover the core of your identity. When's the last time that you literally just spilled your thoughts, right? You can open up your phone. You can go to the record spot. You can just open up the camera roll. You can set up your camera right here towards you, and you can just literally talk to yourself about how you feel. Dwayne, what's up? Today was a day, my brother. That woman that we like, she did this, and this happened, and this happened. And it made me really think about my beliefs in this area of my life. And this is what I believe to be true. But that's not really in alignment with what I want. Why do I have this belief? Just start spilling your feelings to yourself, right? It's going to be, you have to come into this understanding that it's you and your soul going through this life together. The only person that is in your mind, that is in your head, that is in your thoughts 24/7, that you can truly confide in about everything that goes on in that sick, twisted mind of yours, right? It is going to be yourself. So you're always looking for validation from other people. You need to validate yourself. You're always looking for affection from other people. You need to give affection to yourself. You're always looking for intimacy and acceptance and somebody to just hear me. I just want somebody to give me peace and listen to me. But you don't listen to yourself. You haven't sat. When's the last time you literally sat down with yourself and you talked to yourself? People will say you're crazy. You're not supposed to be talking to yourself. You do it all the time in a negative way. You will sit there and drive home from work and imagine all the negative situations that could happen. Delusionally. But you won't sit there and try to self-analyze yourself and help yourself untie you from the beliefs that have led you down this path. You just let certain beliefs run on autopilot in your mind all day. Sit down and become the conscious speaker to yourself, right? Look, brother, there's nobody that I'm going to meet in this life that's going to spend as much time with me as me. Nobody's going to listen to my thoughts the way that I will. No one's going to know what I like, know what I don't like the way that I will. No one's going to know my beliefs the way that I will. Nobody's going to be able to listen to me like I will. So instead of me begging the world to give me something that I'm not even giving myself, why don't I give it to myself? And what you see is the magic of giving things to yourself is once you start giving it to yourself, the world can give it to you. As within, so without. All right? You cannot receive anything from the world that you do not give to yourself. I cannot receive love, intimacy from the world if I do not give myself love and intimacy. Let's think about the subconscious story of how most people's relationships play out. There are certain people that we believe are addicted to chaos and they chase chaos all the time, right? They can't sit still. They always want to chase somebody who doesn't really love them back because it's the performance of the relationship that they like, okay? If I perform for this person, they'll love me. So I'm always chasing. And God forbid you find someone that truly loves you and introduces you to the stillness of love. Because in the stillness of love, guess what? You can be seen. You have to be vulnerable. You have to show parts of yourself. And so if I'm not even used to sitting in the stillness with myself, how could I ever do that with someone else? So a lot of people believe that they're chasing chaos when really they're running away from the stillness of sitting by themselves. And how this manifests is they can't even sit with somebody else. How could you let someone else see you if you can't see yourself? Right? So you constantly will attract more and more chaos. This is why life is multidimensional. Right? That's why we have to be people of balance, right? Because there's levels to everything. So this is why you continue to attract these chaotic people, because they're trying to push you to the stillness of yourself. You think you want intimacy from other people. Guess what you really want? Intimacy with your damn self, right? You think you want intimacy with these women. You know, she fine, she big, you know what I'm saying? You think you want that. Your soul wants you to sit down by yourself. Right? Ladies, you think you want somebody that's going to listen to you more. Your soul wants you to sit down and listen to yourself. And once you start doing that, you can actually attract a divine counterpart. Okay? Cool. All right, number 2, defining your core values. All right, your self-concept should be rooted in solid, unshakable values. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What principles guide my life? So a strong self-concept is built on purpose, integrity, and authenticity. Here's the key. Authenticity. If you're not walking in authenticity, it's going to be very difficult for you to ever get what you want. If I can't walk around and speak my truth to the world, it's difficult for me to attract what I want in the world. All right, this is your throat center, okay? What's your throat center? While your throat center is important, okay? Why your throat center is important is because it is the bridge between your heart center and your third eye, okay? So you have this concept, this self-concept of who you are, what you want to see made manifest in your world, how you want to impact the world, how you want to walk in purpose, the things that you want to hold, make manifest, okay? Now, you have this image in your mind. You also have to walk with integrity and righteousness, right? Most people, when they talk about the heart center, they talk about gratitude, walking with love. But what keeps the heart center open is integrity and righteousness. So you're walking in integrity and righteousness, okay? Now, what your throat does is it connects these two centers. You speak with righteousness. You speak with integrity. You speak based on the inner knowing of who you are. You don't speak based on what the world sees, right? Because when you make a change, the world is going to deny you at first. When you decide to walk in prosperity, when you decide, no, I'm not going to be judged based on your concept of a value system. I'm going to be judged based on me. I know that I'm a divine piece of artwork from the Most High. You can't put a price tag on me. The value's always there. It's already there, right? The moment that you start to walk in this truth, people are going to look at you and say, okay, whatever. They're going to deny that the world around you, you start to try to walk in prosperity, you're still going to have a little delay. The world is still going to show you opposite, okay? It is up to the way you speak, the way that you think, the way that you feel to keep these 3 centers in alignment. So these 3 centers together actually pierce the world, right? Your heart, the magnetism of your heart draws these new experiences to you. The electricity of your mind sends your thoughts into the cosmos. And then the truth of your throat center becomes the magic wand that paints this new beautiful picture over reality. All right? So you need these 3 things in alignment. Okay? Man, I appreciate that. It's because I actually enjoy doing this. So, you just let the Most High speak. Let the Most High flow. Right? I appreciate that. And really a lot of this, this is why I also say as men, it is important for us to have a mentor and a mentee. Because when you have a mentor, you're being held to a higher standard. You're always focusing on this goal and you're in self-improvement. When you're trying to help others, and you can do mentee through helping through YouTube, through, speaking on a platform, through talking to your little brother through things, right? When you have that mentee, it makes you hold yourself accountable. So you constantly have to be in this position where you're pushing yourself. So you have somebody above you that's pulling you. You have somebody below you and they're pushing you, right? And then you have somebody on the side of you that's holding you accountable, right? Like a peer. So it is important that we have these 3 kind of archetypes in our life as men. The importance of brotherhood, right? And I would say women should have the same, right? I would say that women should have the same. But when you have this structure in your life, it just holds you accountable. So knowing that you're able to give game and all that, it's like, okay, well, I know the Most High flows to me. I know that there are things that I wish that I had received when I was younger, when I was going through things. So, once you're in that open mindset, it's like ideas just never stop flowing. I appreciate that, brother. And I'm glad you're getting something out of this, man, truly. So number 3, eliminating false labels and external conditioning. All right, society, family, and past experiences may have conditioned you to believe false narratives. about yourself, okay? Challenging limiting beliefs such as I'm not good enough or I always fail, replacing them with empowering truths. I am always learning and growing. I have unlimited potential. This can help you. Now, the beautiful thing about your self-concept is the best way, think of your mind like a computer. People want to harp on the fact that, okay, you need to believe, you need to feel what you're saying and believe it to be true. And okay, cool, you can do that. That's one way of doing it, but that's also a belief in itself. So think about your reality. And if I tell you, and if all these people are telling you, and if your soul is telling you, your beliefs shape reality. So if I believe that I have to feel it to be true, that's my belief. Okay. If I believe that I can override past programming very, very easily just by switching my mindset once, by overcoming it every day, that's what I believe, right? So we have to find the conditioning that works best for us. Okay. So it's not always about thinking, because sometimes you're going to be broken down, man. You're trying to change your life. You're broken down a little bit. You're walking through and you're like, man, look, I don't feel like I'm enough. So I have to reprogram myself to actually feel like I'm enough. And sometimes I'm going to feel good. Other times I'm not. What helped me through those moments when I was going through them heartbreaks and all that, what helped me is realizing that it seemed that reality wasn't consistently only forming around my strongest beliefs, but it was actually forming around my dominant thoughts. So if I had an affirmation that was more empowering than I felt my belief was, right? Like, okay, I am worthy. If I said that enough times in my mind, like, and it gets to a point, like now I don't really listen to a lot of new music. I'm always saying affirmations in my mind in my free time. If I'm doing the dishes, right? If I'm sitting here and I'm whatever, the moment that I wake up from the bed, I'm saying affirmations in my mind. If I go run, I don't listen to music. I say affirmations. Okay, if I'm working out, I'm telling myself affirmations. I'm speaking to me. I'm talking shit to myself. Right? So I have created an environment where I'm always talking to myself. And when things don't go right and I'm doing this self-analysis and saying, okay, what beliefs do I have that are in alignment with what's playing out in my life? What beliefs? What would I have to believe for me to feel like this, for me to think that this is true, for my situation to be like this? And so then I use that realization to form an affirmation that's opposite of it, that's more empowering. And I give my power back to myself. I take the power away from whatever belief I had. And I'll use affirmations for a day, for two. Right? So really, any time that I'm in free time, if I'm in the shower, I'm saying affirmations. Right? If I'm driving, I'm saying affirmations. Okay? If I get deep enough into meditation, I'm saying affirmations. If I'm on a walk, I'm saying affirmations. If I'm doing push-ups, I'm saying affirmations. All right. So anytime I just have freedom, I'm doing a mundane task or I'm sitting around, I'm saying affirmations. This is what works for me. What works for you might be journaling. What works for you might be setting an alarm, and throughout the day you have these reminders of who you are. Right? Maybe it's reading your handwriting on a note card. Or it's keeping a reminder in your pocket, writing down who you are on a piece of paper, folding it up, putting it in your pocket. So every time you grab your pocket and you feel it, maybe that's the reminder for you that you need. You have to find what works for you. Right? This reality conforms to your beliefs. So what you want to do is you want to find methods that feel right to you. Methods that feel good to you, feel comforting to you. Right? And yeah, absolutely, this is all recorded. It's all on YouTube. Everything is on YouTube. I never delete it. But I appreciate you guys. Right? So the first step, right, was accepting the beliefs. The next step is, okay, if this belief is not conducive to the life that I want to live, what belief is? And now I find a way to make that my dominant thought, right? There are some things that you're going to be able to do like this. There's some things that you're going to figure out, okay, nah, this isn't really working for me. This belief isn't working. And you will immediately be able to say an opposite affirmation with so much energy that boom, it shifts your thoughts immediately. And reality follows. There's other things that's going to take some time. Okay? And so you have to give yourself grace in this process, especially if you're coming off of a heartbreak, you're coming off of a difficult situation. Can you give yourself enough grace and love to actually go through your healing, go through your grieving while you're trying to change your beliefs? Okay? So, part 2, repairing a broken self-concept. Let me turn this down. Shit hurting my eyes, you feel me? All right, repairing a broken self-concept. If your self-concept has been damaged by failure, heartbreak, betrayal, or trauma, rebuilding it requires intentional healing and reprogramming. So number 1 is forgiveness and letting go of the past. Holding on to past mistakes, rejections, or negative experiences reinforces a damaged self-concept. So forgive yourself and others not for their sake, but to free yourself from the weight of resentment. We've all been here before. Somebody does you wrong, quote unquote does you wrong, because really when somebody does you wrong, it's really just a soul expanding experience. It's really something that's meant to teach you a lesson, push you into a better version of yourself, okay? So somebody does you wrong, right? And now time passes and you constantly find yourself reliving those things and feeling the anger. Who is that hurting? It's not hurting that person. They're going on about their life, right? It's hurting you. Every time you do that, you're giving them power, okay? You're surrendering to them. You're becoming a victim to them over and over again. At some point, we have to make a strong enough decision to forgive. Right? We have to make a strong enough decision to at least try to reframe that experience and say, this experience was just trying to teach me something. It was pushing me closer to what I wanted. It was giving me more clarity on my desires. Because even the negative situations that we go through in our life give us clarity. Right? You go through these situations, you have more clarity on the things that you want. Right? This is the beauty of negative and positive situations. Every desire you have, every negative situation that you have is going to give you more clarity on what you want. Okay? So number 2 is going to be rewriting your story. Your past does not define you. Your perception of it does, okay? Instead of seeing yourself as a victim, rewrite your narrative as that of a survivor, a warrior, a conqueror. Every setback was a lesson. Every hardship was preparation. Can you romanticize your life? The same way that you will watch a TV show and you'll look at all the fan theories, you'll open up a comic book, you'll read, you can't wait till the next episode comes out. You're constantly thinking of what's going to happen next. Right? Can you do this same thing with your life? Can you begin to romanticize your life? Can you begin to make yourself the main character in your life? This is the greatest story that you'll ever read, right? And you have the ability to access every single thought within this story. Every single thought within this story, right? So start rewriting your story. Make yourself the main character. What we don't want to do is when we go through pain, is that we put somebody on a pedestal and we start thinking about how much they hurt us and what they did to us and how we feel about it. And we start internalizing that so much that it becomes who we are. So now we're moving off of that pain. You can even go as far as, you meet new people. And when you meet them, you're telling them about things that you went through, because if they understood what you went through, they'll understand you more. Right? What you're really doing is you're giving your power away. Right? Because this person did something, it has completely changed you, and not for the better. You're more guarded, less open, less loving version of yourself, right? You've forgotten who you are. So it goes back to the beginning we were talking about. Remember who you are. You are the Most High, right? You are an aspect of the Most High. And so if you know this, you wouldn't walk around bitter and sad and always hurt, okay? You will walk around like the divine God or goddess that you are, okay? So Yeah. So I edit the description for every single one of these lectures. Every single one, I'll put the document in. And you'll be able to download it. You'll be able to comment on it. You'll be able to do whatever. But I'll add it right after this. Absolutely. Okay. So daily affirmations and mental programming. Speak life into yourself daily. Okay. I am worthy of success and happiness. I have the power to shape my future. I'm strong, confident, unstoppable. These are kind of weak. But what you want to do is you want to create affirmations that are very, very meaningful to you. Matter of fact, let's do an affirmation right now together. Okay? Let's say that you want to take control of your life. But make this affirmation, and you can tweak it however you want, but you want to use words that resonate with you. You want to use words that feel like this is me talking. This is what makes it more powerful. This is the same way that when you pray, you want to talk like yourself, right? When you speak to your ancestors, sometimes you got to tell them, I don't know what the hell you just tried to tell me, brother. Please make that shit more clear, right? So let's say keys to affirmations. All right, number one, the tone of the affirmation should resonate with you. Okay? Number two, all right, the affirmation should make you feel good. Okay? I don't know if y'all done any kind of artwork ever, right? There are times where you might do something, and once you finish, you like, okay, yeah, that's the one right there. That's how you want to feel about your affirmation. You want to revise it, and you want to feel like, okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay, so let's say, for an example, let's say you just came out of just exited a tough relationship. You know, tried to beg for them back, but they were unreceptive. Okay? So this made you feel powerless and less worthy than the God/goddess that you are. Okay? And so what this does is this starts to bleed into other areas of your life, and you start realizing, damn, I'm acting more shy now. I'm not showing up as fully anymore. You know what I'm saying? What can I do now? Okay? So, one affirmation. Let's say an affirmation. Okay? I am artwork. I am the divine. Here we go. I'm about to cook. I am the divine artwork of the Most High. My value is priceless. Do I want to say priceless, or do I want to say incalculable? Is that even a word? My price, my value is my value is beyond measurement. Let's say that. My value is beyond measurement. I would have to tweak that. This is something that I would have to meditate on. My value is, like, what sounds right? Ooh, my value is infinite. I appreciate you, girl. My value is infinite. Okay. Every desire that flows through my mind is meant for me. And making its way to me immediately in the most delicious way. All right, so this will be my affirmation right here. I am the divine artwork of the Most High. My value is infinite. Every desire that flows through my mind is meant for me and making its way to me immediately in the most delicious way. Okay? Now, you can shorten it if you want. You can expand it if you want. You can put it in your own language. But you want, when you finish writing your affirmation, you want to say, yeah. Okay, that's the one right there. That's the one right there. You want it to feel good. You want it to feel like you. This is what makes it special to you. Right? Even when I think one of the best authors, if you really want some cold affirmations, Florence Scovel Shinn. Florence Scovel Shinn. She's one of those old school scholars. She was around a little bit before the time of Neville Goddard, but she has a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. You know, those old school scholars, what they did is they talked about the Bible in very metaphysical ways. They just had time to sit around all day, so their minds were sharp. Yeah, they were connected, right? So, you know, you have to agree with everything that she says. But she has some cold affirmations. I think one of the affirmations that really stuck with me that she said is, my pockets are crammed and jammed with money. I said, oh, yeah, I like that, right? So you take these affirmations, you take the ones that feel good to you, the ones that feel cold to you, the ones that, you know, this speaks to me, all right? And those are the affirmations that you use. So whatever, you have to think, this is your reality. You don't have to be boring. I am worthy. I am worthy. I can't resonate with an affirmation like that. Worthy of what? Right? I need to put a little bit more style on it because that's how I talk, right? I have to put a little bit more emphasis on specifics because that's how I think, right? I'm a more drawn out thinker, okay? So you want to find that balance. You want to find what works for you, and you start using those affirmations to make your life fun. Right? Make your life fun. You want to feel that affirmation as you're going down the road, as you're going down the street and you're driving in your car. Instead of listening to the serial killer music, people talking about killing each other and degrading all women, right? Make it your time to create. The time to create the life that you want. Okay? What is that sound, bro? I'm about to freak out. All right. So part 3, strengthening and maintaining a high value self-concept. Number 1, building confidence through action. So confidence is a byproduct of competence. Do y'all hear that? It must be people upstairs. It must be. I'm just tripping. All right. So building confidence through action. Confidence is a byproduct of competence. Master a skill. Set goals and accomplish small wins daily to reinforce your belief in yourself. Okay, so we have to talk about things from multi-dimensions, from many different dimensions, because we are people of balance, right? So one way that you can, target changing your life, target changing your self-concepts, there are things like affirmations, journaling, meditation, just self-concepts, self-talk, self-beliefs. This is one way. But the best way to hit things is from multiple angles, right? Like the same way that you hit your woman, multiple angles, all right? You want to hit your life in this way so you can improve your life in this way, all right? So I have the mental game going on where, all right, now my affirmations are changing. I'm changing the way that I'm thinking. I'm changing the way that I'm speaking, okay? I'm changing the way that I see my beliefs. I'm doing this. Now, how can I implement things in my physical reality, okay? Now, one of the best ways to build self-confidence is for me to actually have small wins. It's for me to actually build a schedule, build a regimen in my life where I can achieve small wins, and these things can add up over time and make me feel good. Because these small wins, they add to our self-confidence. They add to my beliefs, okay? So, when's the last time you tried a new skill? When's the last time you did that thing that people are always telling you, hey, bro, you'll be good at this. Some of you should be doing content. Right? Some of you should be speaking to people. Some of you should be mentoring people, right? Some of you have ideas, brands that you need to set up. Some of you should be running e-com stores. Some of you should be putting up Amazon storefronts. Some of you should be photography, whatever the case may be. Some of you, you should just be picking up new skills or working out harder. When have you tracked your workouts? Made challenges to yourself. I'm going to work out every day this week. And then actually measured it. Okay? I'm going to schedule workouts 30 minutes a day every day for this week. If I don't do that workout, if I don't do that thing, then at the end of the day, I write down why I didn't. When you write down why you didn't, now you put an action plan. Okay, I did not do that workout because I was out all night last night. I drank. So I woke up too late and I said I was going to go in the evening, but I just got busy with work. Okay, action plan. Don't go out late on the weekdays. Boom. All right. Now, what you'll see is that it's not as important to hit the goal every day. What is more important is that you start to track your life. And as you start to track your life and you start to implement practices, you start to fix things that are going wrong, remove certain vices, put yourself on a stricter schedule. You'll see that, oh shit, your confidence gets better because all of a sudden you're starting to see that you can control your life and it doesn't take this huge overhaul. You can do it daily, weekly, task by task. You can improve your life and this gives you power. You are the creator of your reality. You see this now. This is an empowering feeling. So you're taking these small steps in your mind. You're taking these small steps in your day-to-day life. And as you're doing this, all of a sudden, boom, your life starts changing. Things start to come. Synchronicities, all of a sudden, like, damn, people are treating me nice ever since I made this beautiful affirmation, right? It's as if the Most High starts giving you these breadcrumbs to remind you that, yes, you are the creator, okay? And then as these things start to prove themselves to you, now you can look to bigger things. You can actually start creating better things. Oh, I'm in a healthy relationship with this divine, chocolate, thick goddess, right? You can start making affirmations about other things. You can start studying how you make things change in your reality and then implementing the changes that you want. You can really start to play the game of life instead of just riding through life and coasting through life, right? This is the power that you have within you. This is the divine power that's flowing through you, okay? All right, number 2, surrounding yourself with the right people. Your environment and social circles shape your self-concept. If I'm in a situation or if I'm in an environment with people that are always degrading me, if I always feel like people are just using me, taking advantage of me, it's very difficult for you to elevate your self-concept when you constantly have to go to an environment that reminds you of who you used to be, of who you're trying to change. Sometimes it's cool to fast from people, fast from environments. You don't have to cut them off all the way. But you at least have to put yourself first. You put everybody else first for your entire life. You've put everybody. You've looked for the validation from other people your whole life. You had the job you wanted because you thought it would sound good to other people. You dated the people you dated because you thought it would be good to other people. You drove the car you have because you thought it would be cool to other people. Everything you've done has been for other people. Take a month off. I'm begging you, all right? Take a month off from pleasing everybody else and get right with yourself, okay? Cut out toxic people who drain you and surround yourself with individuals who uplift and challenge you, right? Get some mentorship, right? Start to spark more vulnerable conversations with your friends. Really start to let them know what path you're on. See who supports you and who doesn't, right? And then move from there. And then embodying the person that you want to be. Act as if you already are the person you aspire to be. So walk, talk, and think in alignment with your higher self until it becomes second nature, right? Until it becomes second nature. Cool. Now, the thing about embodying is, so me, I believe in affirmations. That's what I do. It's what I like. It's what I enjoy. And because of that, what I have also realized is there's certain things that trying to put this in a clean way. Apologize. All right. So there's certain things that I want to receive, that I've wanted to receive. And it's required me to shift my personality. And shifting my personality was as simple. Embodying the person that I wanted to become was as simple as my thoughts. It didn't require me to walk around with arrogance, to walk around any differently, right? It required me to think a different way. And as a byproduct of just saying different things in my mind, of before I walked into any room, rehearsing in my mind, okay, how do I want to think when I walk in this room? How do I want to think when I get to my parents' house? How do I want to think when I get on this meeting? How do I want to think when I record this content, right? Just doing that and utilizing affirmations on that path changed the way that I presented myself, right? And then as you present yourself differently, the world actually follows that presentation, okay? So walking in your power. In conclusion, your self-concept is going to be either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. The choice is yours. If you do nothing, the world will define you. If you don't change today, the world will continue to define you like it already has been. But if you take control, if you actively build and reinforce your self-concept, you become unstoppable. It is time to step into your power. Who are you going to be? All right. Let me see this. Right. Like, who are you going to be? Okay. So self-concept shapes everything. Who I think I am shapes everything. How I walk through this life, my energy, the energy that follows me, shapes everything. Okay. Think about the last time. Let's do a thought experiment. Okay. Think about the last time you were in a good relationship, or you just met somebody that you really liked. You enjoy their time. You know, you're going through that little honeymoon phase. You know, it's always fun to meet somebody, especially like the first 2-3 days. You meet somebody new, you feel real good about it, right? When you're in the beginning stages of a relationship, it is as if the entire world opens up. People start giving you free shit. All of a sudden, you're just happy walking through life. Good things happen to you in all areas. You want to attack new projects. You're this new version of yourself. Okay. What changed in the world? Your optimism, because you met someone that brought the optimism out of you. That's it. Nothing else changed. You can bring this same enthusiasm to your life every day and change your life every day. You have that power within you. You don't have to give it to the outside world. You don't have to wait until something good happens. You can literally make that decision right now with your self-concept, with your belief in yourself. Okay, your perception, your perspective is your magic wand. This is what you're going to use to cut through reality, to change your reality, right? To step into a better, brighter, more beautiful version of yourself. Take back your power from every single person in your life that made you perform for their love, perform for their validation, that told you that you were not enough, that told you that you have to act this way to be accepted. You have to be this way to get love. All right? You have to think this way to get love. You have to hold yourself. Remove all of that. Remove all that bullshit. They don't know you. They know themselves. They can speak for themselves, and they can't speak for you. You speak for you. All right? And if your beliefs and your thought processes are all surrounded around what other people tell you to do, how other people have told you to live, told you to think, told you to feel, told you how to heal, told you how to carry yourself. Okay? If all of your beliefs are shaped around these other people's beliefs, then who is running your reality? Who is shaping your reality for you? Okay? Take back your power. Allow your beliefs to be in alignment with what you want. It doesn't have to be a full drastic change, right? But my belief that all women aren't shit versus a belief that, maybe most people these days are different, but I can still find one person for me. These are two completely different mindsets. One is in alignment with the things that I want. The other is not. And this is a small change. All women ain't shit. That mindset is not in alignment with what you want. All men ain't shit. That mindset is not in alignment with what you want. Yeah, sure, times might be tough, or people might be differently, but I can still find the one for me. What is the big change about that? It's wording, it's perspective, it is belief, and you literally just opened up the door for one person. For one person. But the presentation of these, how these things make you feel when you say that, one gives hope. One doesn't. One is optimistic. One is in alignment with what you want. The other one is not. Okay, you are the creator. Use your paintbrush. Use your mind. Use your words. Use your thoughts to paint the beautiful pictures that you want to experience. Because when you get to the end of your life, fuck the end of your life. You can do this right now. When you look right now at everything that is in your life, everything in your life is reflecting your beliefs to you. How much money you make reflects to you how difficult you think it is to make money. The type of women that you attract are reinforcing your beliefs about how you feel about women and what kind of women you attract and what kind of women are out there. All of your beliefs are being reflected back to you. Now, are you going to be aware enough and conscious enough to take the lesson and grow, change your vibration so you can get some better, more delicious, more divine things? Or do you want to continue to experience the same thing over and over again as a byproduct of other people's thoughts? Do you want to allow your parents, the teachers, the corporate job, Tom at the corporate office, do you want to allow all these people and their beliefs to shape your reality? Or do you want to be the archetype or the architect of your faith, of your reality? The choice is yours. You can literally make the choice right now. You have no one to wait for. You don't have to wait for anybody. You don't need to change your diet. You don't need to practice retention. You don't need to go talk to a priest. You don't need to confess your sins to anybody. You do not need to do any of this shit that people tell you need to do because they're trying to strip power away from you. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to make a conscious decision right now. Find something that works for you. Find a technique that works for you and stick to it until you see results. Here's the key. Stick to it until you see results. You're going to start it for a day. You're going to be motivated. 2 days, a little less motivated. 3 days, it's kind of boring. But can you keep pressing until you start getting those breadcrumbs? Can you keep on going? Can you exercise discipline? The only thing keeping most of y'all from anything in your life is discipline. This is why the world that we're in right now is in such a place where it's always trying to sap your attention, because it knows that your attention is your superpower. If discipline was easy, if focus, right, if everybody was allowed to focus, nobody would be out of shape, nobody would be eating garbage, nobody would be dumb, everybody would have all the resources they need, everyone would be in the type of relationship that's ideal for them at this moment. If your attention, if everyone had attention, everyone would be living the life that they want. But what you'll see is if you start studying people, become a student of your life, become a student of others. When you study others, when you study yourself, you'll realize that your accomplishments are in direct alignment with your attention, with your ability to stay focused and disciplined and continue to do things through the unknown. People that are successful, they can just hold their attention on shit longer than you. That's the only difference. You get bored, they don't. Or they get bored, they push through it. Let's put it like that. It's not that they don't get bored. Right? And really, your self-concept, can you hold on to your self-concept long enough to change it? You've let everybody else give you your self-concept for the last 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 years. Can you hold on to a new self-concept for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And then once you start seeing change, it becomes easier. Commit to yourself, man. Don't be the person that says, I'm going to change today, and then 3 days later, you're bored. If you fall off in 3 days, get right back on. Commit to this. Commit to this for the rest of the year. What would you have to lose? At the very least, you would, let's say everything stayed the same and you just felt better. You walked around with a better belief in yourself. But here's what's going to happen, even on a basic level, right? Let's not even talk about the metaphysical manifestations that are going to happen and how your life is going to change and your money is going to double and the women are going to multiply around you. Let's just talk about some of the obvious things that anybody can see. If you have a better self-concept, your current relationships will be better. You'll have more confidence. You'll probably be able to tell people no easier, because you'll stand up for yourself more. You probably won't chase people around like you used to, so you won't be in these painful situations. You'll probably be more inclined to say what you want and say how you feel. Tell the jokes that you want. Say the things that are more in alignment with you. And so just by doing those things, your life would be better. But then we're going to go into the more delicious, divine things that are going to happen. You will make more money. You will be introduced to people in your life that you can have fun with. You will be introduced to better friends. You will lose people that you thought were good for you but weren't. And this will all start happening gradually, then exponentially, and then it's like a bell curve, right? After a week, a couple things, 2 weeks, a whole bunch more, 3 weeks, god damn, 4 weeks, what the hell is going on? This is all I had to do, was change my self-concept, was focus on my thoughts. This is it. Remember when I used to think like money was difficult to get? In the moment that I started reprogramming myself and be like, hey, money's not real, money's not real, money's not real, money's not real. That shit flows easily. It gets printed out of thin air, bro. This shit is not real. It's literally just a number on a screen. It's how the numbers on the screen just fluctuate. Where do they come from? Right. And then all of a sudden, when my belief changed, when I really started to think like that, my relationship with money changed. And now it's like, whatever I need, all of a sudden it's there. Magically. Right. But all these things just require you changing your relationship with the things around you, changing your relationship to yourself, really. Changing how you identify with things. I grew up in money was tight in the family, you feel me? So my relationship was different with it. I wanted to hold on to it. I didn't want it to flow. And energy wants to flow. So if energy can't flow to you to bless other people, guess what? It's going to find somewhere else to flow through. Right? And so definitely, if y'all want a better understanding of money, there was another lecture I gave on money as well on YouTube. But, it's 10:18 here, so let's do a little Q&A. Hopefully this helped, man. Hopefully this helped. I know that it's difficult to go through damaging situations with people, especially before we understand the divinity of each soul that's presented to us in our life. Especially before I really understand that everything is a lesson and a blessing in disguise, and it's giving me an opportunity to show that I am who I am. It's giving me an opportunity to grow and reach a new vibration and get new, beautiful, divine things, right? Before I really came into that inner knowing, and I just looked at life as chaotic, and I thought people were just hurting me and it was personal, and I didn't realize these are just reflections of me. This is my soul bringing these people in my life to expand me, right? Before I thought that people could break me down. And I had dark times where it was like, man, I did all this shit and you still don't see me. Why? Why? Right? So before I really stepped into the divinity of myself, before I looked in the mirror and I saw the God, all right, it was very easy for me to outsource my validation, to outsource who I thought I was. So I know that it's difficult. Right? But your self-concept, right? Your self-concept is at the center of everything that you're going to receive for the rest of your life. This is something that is worth working on every day for the rest of your life. Right now, most of your thoughts are on autopilot. They're based on the memes. They're based on the politicians. They're based on the preacher who don't really even give a damn about you. He care about your offering. He's trying to lock the doors and keep you in there. Right? Most of what you are getting, most of what you believe is based on other people. Most people believe stuff that other people told them, and other people told them that shit too. So most of your beliefs are secondhand beliefs. They're not even your own. Why would you go through life holding on to this? You know, it got to a point with me where I was like, bro, I need God to tell me. Like if I have a belief, if the belief that I have is in alignment with what I want, I need the Most High to come tell me that this is wrong. Who are you to tell me? Bro, who are you to tell me what I'm worth? Who are you to tell me what I can have and what I can't have? Who are you to tell me that? Did God tell you to tell me that? No. You're just doing that off of your basic, jealous, programmed perception. And that's how most people are walking around. Most people are walking around very unconscious. Do not fall into that mix. Take control of your life. Walk in your divinity. All right? Walk in your divinity, man. You walk into every room with that energy, bro. You got the biggest dick in the room. Every single room that you walk into. And watch how your reality shifts. All right? Change your beliefs about everything, bro. Change your beliefs about women. Right? I already know. If a woman steps in, if we have a one-on-one conversation, she will be hard pressed to ever forgive me. It will be impossible. All right? So do not step in. Don't step to me one-on-one unless you're willing to get closer to God. All right? And I mean that in multiple ways, right? These are the beliefs that you need to have. These are the beliefs that are more beneficial to you. Okay? And as you believe these things, what happens is that your soul begins to attract experiences to you to match these beliefs. So you get that divine insight. Your game gets colder. Your words flow smoother. Right? Your tone gets better. You become more confident. Your presence becomes stronger. Your aura can be felt more, right? You're speaking your reality in existence. But the moment that I'm thinking, man, these women always cheat on me, and I'm identifying as that guy, reality has to confirm that as well. So what are you going to attract? You're going to attract the bottom of the barrel women to you, man. Right? You're going to attract the bottom of the barrel men to you. Your mind is powerful. Your mind is just a magnet to what you think about the most. This is it. The moment that I have a desire, I'm not trying to get it anymore. I have it. It's here. I can't see it yet, but it'll be materialized. I don't worry about what's going on in the external world. I do what I have to do from moment to moment. But if I have this desire and I see it as true and I go into my imagination and I know who I am, and I understand God put this desire in me for a reason. Right? My self-concept is aligned to somebody who has this. There's nothing for me to do. I do nothing. The God within me does all the work. My Father in heaven does all the work, man. You have to do nothing. I change my mindset. I change my self-concept. And that faith builds the architecture for the Most High to do the work through me. I don't do shit. I don't do shit. I can't do shit. I can make a plan and start working on that plan, but we all know what happens with the plan. Doors close, you get rearranged, you get pushed into different directions. You don't do shit. It's the Father in heaven that does shit, your mind that does it. You hold on to the belief, you keep marching forward, you take everything as divine intervention, and all of a sudden, magically, boom, now you live where you want to live. Now you date who you want to date. You have the experiences that you want to experience. You have the prosperity that you dream about. Because you are focused on your self-concept, on your beliefs. Right? This is the power that you have within you. You are never a victim. Unless You allow yourself to be by giving away your power. But you can take that shit back like that. Right? You don't have to do a cord cutting ceremony. You don't have to do any kind of ceremony, any kind of spell, brother. You have everything that you need within you already. The universe is within you. Everything that you desire is within you. It's in your imagination. You can already see it. Everything around you that you see is you being out pictured. Nobody is real around you. They're all just projections of you. You can have whatever you want. You have to give it to yourself internally first. Then you have to walk with the self-concept that you have it. And then it is made manifest in your external reality. That is it. That's how the game works. It's that simple. We overcomplicate it. We make long lectures to go into detail. But this is it. No one is real. Nothing is real. Everything is in you. Your relationship to everything around you is based on your beliefs about those things, and your beliefs are shaping the reality around you. If you have a desire and you give it to yourself and you do not waver from the belief that I have it, God gave me this desire, I have it. I have already imagined myself sitting in that car, having that money, paying that thing. And I have the self-concept that matches that. And now I walk through the world unshakable. That's it. All right, that's it. And I don't waver, right? It might not show up today, might not show up tomorrow, but I'm going to hold my mind that I already have it until it happens. I'm not going to sit around like a psychopath always thinking about it. But if I do think about it, I'm going to remind myself I already have it, got it. Boom, on to the next thing. Let me do something else that I enjoy. Let me go work out. Let me run. Let me write. Let me do this presentation. Let me do whatever. Let me do whatever feels right to do next. But whenever that subject comes to my mind, I have the discipline to remind myself who the fuck I am. As many times as it takes. 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Because the alternative is going back to who I used to be. You've already lived that life. You don't want to go back though. You've already lived that life. Why go back? Why? You've already lived that life when you're giving your validation to everybody else. Or you're outsourcing your validation from everybody else. Already done that. You've already lived a life where you let everybody else's beliefs dictate who you were. That wasn't fun. You weren't traveling around when you were living like that. You weren't meeting people in all kinds of beautiful places and beautiful coincidental ways, right? That shit wasn't happening when you were believing the thoughts of everybody else. But the moment that you start believing that life is divine, life is magical. I'm the type of guy that attracts good things. I'm the type of a man that attracts good women, beautiful women that love me. Women that match me vibrationally. I'm the type of man that, women enjoy their time around me. And they can be who they are, and I can be who I am. Strings attached or none. All right? This is who I am. Okay? And those beliefs, I'm the type of dude, every bill that I have, it's cool, it's paid for, it's already done. I don't have to worry about it. Somehow, magically, the money just shows up whenever I need it. It's a damn miracle. All right? Cool. All right, y'all. Well, this was a great yapping session, but I hope y'all got something from this, man. The main point of the story is always take your power. Step into your power. Become the creator of your life, man. Remember who you are. Look in that mirror and see the God. See the goddess within you. All right. See the God and the goddess within you. Wake up in the morning, gentlemen. Step out of bed. Slang that big dick over your shoulder and go take on the world. All right. Any other questions y'all have, man? If not, let us end with the prayer per usual. And then I will let y'all have a blessed and beautiful evening. Okay? All right. All right, Heavenly Father, we call back our energy from everything and everyone that is outside of us. We know that you dwell within us. That it is our faith, our perception, our beliefs, and our thoughts that build the architecture around us for our desired reality to be made manifest. Continue to remind us every moment of the day that you're walking with us with love. Constantly remind us that the love that we seek from the external world, the validation that we seek from the external world, the intimacy that we're seeking from the external world is all within us. And continue to give us the people, give us the experiences that push us and expand us into an alignment with the things that we want, the more beautiful, the most beautiful version of life that we can only dream of, right? And also, pray for anyone that's going through heartbreak, going through pain, that you provide them with the peace that only you can provide. And also remind them that that peace is always within them, ready to be unlocked with their presence and their focus. Cool. All right, y'all. I see you all as beautiful, as divine, as wealthy, as healthy, as perfect, as whole, as in alignment with the things that you want. Okay? If you do not feel that way, it's cool, because I see you as that way anyway, so I know it must be true. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Remember that you are gods, you are goddesses. If anybody tells you otherwise, don't believe them. Tell them to take their limited thoughts somewhere else, right? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening.